the thing you can't forgive yourself for. You have forgiven other people for things far worse than what you did. You know you have. You have extended grace to people who hurt you, who disappointed you, who did not deserve it, and you did it anyway. Because you believed grace was real and that people deserved another chance. But when it comes to yourself, to that specific thing, that specific moment, that specific version of you that made a choice you cannot undo, the grace stops. The door that stays open for everyone else closes. And you have been standing outside it for a long time. Maybe you tell yourself it's accountability, that you shouldn't let yourself off the hook too easily, that carrying the weight is somehow the right response to what you did. But accountability and self-punishment are not the same thing. And what you have been doing, the replaying, the rehearsing, the quiet sentence you keep serving inside your own mind, that is not accountability. That is a prison. And you built it yourself. And you cannot find the door. This reflection is about the door. What forgiveness actually is -1 John 1-9. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. Not most. Not the manageable ones. Not the ones that don't embarrass you too much. All unrighteousness, which includes the thing you are thinking about right now. That verse does not say, He will forgive you once you have suffered enough. It does not say, He will forgive you once the guilt fades naturally. It says He is faithful, meaning His forgiveness is tied to His character, not your emotional readiness to receive it. It says He is just, meaning the forgiveness is legally grounded in what Christ did, not sentimentally offered in spite of it. The price for what you did was paid, not partially. Completely, before you were born, on a cross outside Jerusalem. Every sin you would ever commit, including that one, especially that one, was placed on someone who took it willingly and said, from inside the weight of it, it is finished. It is finished. Not, it will be finished. Once you feel bad enough, finished, done. Settled. The only thing standing between you and the freedom that purchased is your willingness to receive it. If this reflection is reaching somewhere you have kept locked for a long time, stay with it. And if you want to keep coming back to this space, to these quiet, honest reflections that don't look away from the hard things, subscribe to Whisper of Grace and turn on notifications. A new reflection comes every week for exactly this. Why we refuse to receive it. There is a particular kind of pride hidden inside the refusal to forgive yourself. It sounds like humility. It looks like taking your sin seriously, but underneath it is something that says, the cross was enough for other people's sins, but mine require something more. Mine require that I continue to pay. Mine are the exception. That is not humility. That is a subtle form of self-importance, the belief that your sin is too large for the atonement, that what Christ did was sufficient for everyone but you. It places your guilt above the finished work of the cross. And it keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-punishment that was never asked of you and never glorifies God. John Owen, one of the greatest Puritan theologians, wrote that the blood of Christ is sufficient to cleanse the worst sin the worst sinner ever committed. Not almost sufficient. Not sufficient with reservations. Sufficient. Your sin is not the exception to the gospel. It is exactly what the gospel was designed for. Receiving what was already given. Forgiveness from God is not something you earn by feeling bad enough for long enough. It is something you receive, like a gift held out. Waiting to be taken. And receiving it does not mean pretending what happened didn't happen. It does not mean the consequences disappear or that the people you hurt are not still hurt. It means you stop adding your own punishment on top of what Christ already absorbed. It means you stop insisting that the price was not enough. It means you open your hand. The weight you have been carrying, the specific, heavy, familiar weight of that thing, was not meant to be yours to carry forever. It was transferred, on purpose, to someone who chose to take it and who has not handed it back. You are allowed to put it down. Before I close, if you know someone who is carrying something they cannot forgive themselves for, someone who extends grace to everyone but themselves, share this with them. You might not know what to say. You don't have to say anything. just send it. And subscribe to Whisper of Grace if you want to keep finding reflections like this one. Every week for the hard things. You are not what you did. The thing you cannot forgive yourself for is part of your story, but it is not the whole of it. And it is not the part God is most focused on. He sees you covered. He sees you claimed. He sees the work He is doing in you, slowly through seasons like this one, and He does not see it as hopeless. He sees it as in progress. You are not what you did. You are what He says you are. And what He says is settled, unchanging, grounded in something far more stable than your worst day put it down. Receive what was given. Walk forward, not because you deserve to, but because the one who paid for your freedom is asking you to use it. With grace, whisper of grace,